In the fall of 2018, the President of the United States signed the Defense Appropriations Bill. While over 200,000, I believe, people were in Washington, D.C. protesting gun violence. Most of these were young leaders, including minors, protesting gun violence, i.e., do not increase the proliferation of the arms trade. Not one fucking congressperson, not one fucking senator said a goddamn fucking thing about the President of the United States signing billions, perhaps even if you take into account the capital outlays entailed, trillions of dollars of weapons deals on the futures of young leaders. What did happen is a bunch of hanky ass Democrats, starting out with 24, please understand, when the Democrats first announced their campaign slate, their little contest for the presidential bid. They had 24 to begin. And they spent most of the summer of last year prostituting young leaders under the auspices of climate justice while hooking up long-term flips on the DoD budget to launder weapons and tech necessary to apply those weapons through all kinds of other processes, including the illusion that we're dealing with a health pandemic when really what it is a bioterror weapon, right? And who's talked to these young people about the fact that they are armed and dangerous, and somebody in Congress is expecting to be able to take their futures, hook it to some sort of piece of paper, and get their broker friends to flip it back and forth. And if they're lucky, all they got to do is smoke pot and have sex, and then that person gets their kickback. But if not, are they going to show up for racial justice and put their bodies on the line in the street while somebody at the Bureau of Land Management takes a bond that they can get for surface use rights and mines them real time? You know, if you're on the right telemedication regime, it's kind of like when you go to the club and he gives you a roofie. And then you start feeling all good and warm. And by the time you get to his place, nothing's taboo anymore. Right? Who's actually going to talk to these people about the technical specifications necessary to make sure somebody doesn't hijack their plane and take them on a joyride somewhere they're not supposed to go, from where they'll never return? Are you going to do that? Are you going to give people training? Are you going to give people certifications? Are you going to give people certifications that have the wrong noting so a bunch of fucking sex perverts at the goddamn police force can swap it out for a certain kind of porno relay? And if you don't confirm the transaction, your ass is just going to be hustled from one city to the next while a bunch of goddamn armchair jockeys pretend like they're qualified? You want a demonstration tomorrow? I guess you weren't satisfied with what you got so fucking far. How young do you go? I just want to know. How young did you think your little drone program could go? See, I said no to minors. And I waited. You didn't. Times are changing.